Well, hello and welcome to your first lesson of Workplace and Apprenticeship Math 20 or Math 11. Today we are going to start in Chapter 1 with the first part of Chapter 1, and all of Chapter 1 is referring to slope and rate of change. And you have previously in your math experience talked about each of these, so there should be many moments when you should be thinking to yourself, yeah, I've done this before. Today we're going to start talking about the concept of rise over run. And what it is a way to talk about the slope of a line. You can see I'm highlighting this red line that is slanted. How do we describe the slant of that line? And what slope allows us to do is to provide a number that we can use to compare slants. Slope is often represented with the letter M, and the way to figure out slope is to figure out how much the graph or the line goes up and divide it by how much it goes over. And this is something that's useful in many contexts, and you will see that right away. In this first example, this person, Charlene, is making a brass cookbook holder. So you can see by the color of this that it's made of metal, and it has a certain slant to it. And so to describe that slant, we're going to look at the numbers of squares that the cookbook holder goes over and then how much it goes up. So just counting squares, you can see that we have 4 squares going over and then 6 squares going up. So when you look at question A and it says, what's the slope of this line? You do the rise divided by the run. And in this case, the rise is how much up, which is 6, and the run is how much over, which is 4, which is 1.5. That tells us that there is a number that describes the slope and that it's fairly sloped. If you look at the actual slope of it, I would say it's past halfway, whereas if you went on a 45-degree angle, it would be less than that, and that makes sense because if you think of something holding a book, that's the slant that it should have. You can describe the slope in a number of different ways. In this part C, you can see that one person says, well, the slope is 3 over 2. Well, that's the same as 6 over 4, which is the same as 1.5, which is what Amanda says. And you can also write it as a ratio, 6 to 4. All those things mean the same thing. Another example here, a little bit different. We have a ramp built, and the steps are 18 inches high. So from the bottom to the top is 18 inches. Not each step is 18, but the full height is 18. And we want to find the distance from the point where the ramp is at the floor to point X, which you can see is right there. We need to find that distance. We're told that the slope number, which is the letter M, is 0.2, and that equals the rise over run. We already know the rise is 18 inches. The run is what we're looking for, which is this distance right there. So really what we're trying to figure out is what number do we divide 18 by to get an answer of 0.2. And the other way that you can look at it is as a percentage, really. You're saying 18 is 20% of what? So to figure that answer out, we're going to divide 18 by 0.2, and we will get an answer of 90 inches, which we could also change to feet. If we divide that by 36, that is equal to 2.5 feet, or 2 feet 6 inches. So that's similar to the questions that you're going to see. When you look in your textbook, at the end of the first section there is an assignment for you to do. And there are also a few definitions that we saw in this unit that I would strongly recommend you write down on a definitions page for this unit so you have that for reference. Otherwise, that's it for the first lesson. And we'll see you in the next lesson very soon.